Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I hope you stick around, watch the video, and like what you're seeing. Let's get into today's card. So I'm going to be using this stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This is the set Totally Unforgettable with frogs. So I'm going to be using a few of these frogs from the set because they're all so cute. I couldn't just pick one. So I'm just going ahead, picking a few of the frogs, and I'm going to go ahead and use my stamping platform to stamp this out. I'm doing a slimline card, so I'm using my bigger stamping platform. And first I'm going to use the water from the stamp set and stamp that along the bottom because these frogs need to be swimming in their natural habitat of water. So I'm just adding the water across the slimline card. And getting this card done. So this is going to be a birthday card. And while I am stamping this out, I will just read these sentiments to you, which I used a few of them, but they have so many cute sentiments. So it's, you are totally awesome. Hope your birthday is, and then you could say, hope your birthday is unforgettable. Your kisses are unforgettable. Happy birthday. You are so riveting. You make me smile. And you're totally... And then you could add in unforgettable. So this stamp set can be used for birthdays, encouragement, love. Probably could even pull this in for Valentine's Day. There's so many options with this stamp set, just the way they've added in your kisses are unforgettable, you're totally awesome, you make me smile. It's just like a fun, encouraging sentiment set that you could pull out year round. So I had some issues with these stamps moving, but I was able to line it up perfectly and fix any issues in coloring. I got lucky with this one. Do not give up on your projects. Just keep going and make them work. So as you can see, I picked 3 of the frogs. I picked the one where the frog is floating down the river in the leaf, and then the frog with the ladybug on his head, and then just the frog jumping. Then there's a little frog with his tongue grabbing a bug, but I did not use that one. So I went ahead and used a few sentiments from this set because this is for my oldest, who is turning 8 in April, and he loves puns. When we use them, he thinks they're pretty funny, so I wanted to go ahead and use a few of these puns. So since it's a birthday card, I decided to go for happy birthday. And then I'm going to stamp out another sentiment, and this is the you are totally awesome. He really likes green and different animals that are green, so I thought that this stamp set would be super, super fun to use for his birthday card. And then we're going to stamp one more sentiment across the top because why not? We're going to get those puns and we are going to use them. So I paired you're totally unforgettable together, and those are my sentiments at the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and color the images in with the Spectrum markers, and I found that as I colored this in that I lost a lot of the lines. I do not know why, but I wanted my images to stand out more. Now I could have gone in beforehand and done embossing with embossing ink and had those lines already embossed, but they would have been thin. So you're going to see how I do this in the end, how I add in more detail to the coloring and just make these images pop. See, as I'm adding this darker green in for the frogs, you lose a lot of the lines, the details in the frogs, and so I wanted to battle that. I feel like even with the thinner lines of the embossing powder, you still may lose some of that. So I'm going to make these froggies pop in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. I have all the supplies that I am using today linked down below in the description box. If you want a closer look, then you can go check out those links down below. And there's also a matching die set for this stamp set as well, if you are interested in that. And I can link to that as well. You can get it individually or as a set. So there's definitely options with this stamp set. Lots of green, lots of blues, and also to do the backgrounds, because I did not do the backgrounds before I stamped, and I did not do any fussy cutting or anything. I just stamped directly onto my card base. I'm going to come in with some ink to get my backgrounds, to add color to the sky and to add color to the water, because I didn't want to color it in all with Spectrum Noir markers. So as you can see, I have my Distress Oxide inks, and I'm using the Rabbit Hole Designs blending brushes, which are my go-to brushes, and I can link to them for you as well. So as you can see, I'm adding in that color, and then I go over my images a little bit. I'm able to rub that away, but part of it gets lost. It kind of takes away from the coloring a bit. So I'm coming in with the Ranger Emboss It pen, and I'm just going over the words carefully, and then I'm going to use some clear embossing ink, or clear embossing powder. I didn't use the ink, but yeah, clear embossing powder over this. It's going to make it stand out, make it more bold, give it that glossy shine look, and just bring it out from the background since I added in that ink. And then I go ahead and add this over the frogs as well. This makes them more bold, makes them like they're leaping off the page, that they're more realistic. And yes, this was a little bit time consuming, but I think it's really fun in the end, and you get that shiny look, and when you touch it, it's raised and it's fun. It's that extra step that just totally makes it awesome and stand out. And you could ink up your background first and fussy cut these out, or use the die, but this is another option if you don't want to get the die or you don't want to fussy cut. This is a way to make your images stand out even when there's ink blending, and maybe your images get a little lost with your coloring or when you're working with your background. So, and it was worth it in the end. So just heat setting all of this clear embossing powder onto the stamp and onto the stamped image, and then I am going to finish up this card. I thought about adding some more, maybe some pops of color or sequins, but I really liked how it was, and just adding that embossing powder over the images with the Emboss It pen really made these images stand out, and I felt like it didn't need anything in the end. So that is today's card. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing and joining me here on my YouTube channel, where I share card inspiration for you. Bye for now.